Hi, how is everyone? My name is Catherine, and today I am going to go through 6 rules that will help you make your emails more professional. Now, if you are writing emails every day at work, this might be too basic for you, but it's worth watching just to check that you are doing everything I include in here. And I do intend to do a more advanced email etiquette video in the future, so be sure to subscribe and like this video. So let's get into it. The first one is to create paragraphs. So don't just send a body of text to the reader. Split your emails into sections. Not only is this easier to read, it's easier for the person to respond to as they can reply to each section. So even if your email is very, very basic, you can have an introduction section, a why you're emailing section, and a what you want them to do next section. This is an email I received from someone. I've blurred it for privacy reasons, but you can still see how the email is written. I received just a body of text. When responding, I had to create my own paragraphs and decide which parts were the most important to reply to and which parts were priority. However, if you split your email into paragraphs, like this one, this is my own email, so I haven't blurred it. Feel free to pause and read. The person receiving the email can see there are 3 points I want to talk about here, and they can respond to each of those 3 individual points. This is easier for them to read and also for them to respond to. Before I go on to the second point here, this is actually my second time filming this today because I'm trying to get the lighting and sound right. And I don't see many YouTubers wearing glasses. And as you can see, because I wear glasses, you can see my light in my glasses reflection. I don't really know what to do about this because I can't see without my glasses, so bear with me whilst I figure that out. It's a bit of a side note, I know, but I wanted to let you know that these are things I am working on and I do intend to bring you better content in the future. But like anything, like learning a language, it all takes practice. Always introduce yourself. Now, this may seem obvious, but trust me, I've received emails where I have no idea who the person is sending them to me. Always introduce yourself. Always make sure you state who you are, which company you're working for, if the email is work related, who you're writing on behalf of. So I've included some examples on the screen. Feel free to take some time to read those. But always introduce yourself, even if it's as simple as, "Hi, my name is Catherine and I am writing to you because." This third point goes very closely with the previous one. So get to the point. Within the first 2 sentences of your email, your reader should know who you are and why you have contacted them. Don't leave the reader feeling, okay, but why have you emailed me? What have I got to offer you? I received this email recently, and again, I've blurred it for privacy, but you can see the email is structured very well. They've got clear paragraphs, they've got a sentence, then they've got their main body of text, and then a sentence at the end. However, I don't know their name. This person didn't tell me their name. They didn't tell me who they were writing for. They didn't tell me why they wanted to speak to me. They gave me a very brief idea of what they were writing for, but I don't know their background. I don't know where they're from. I don't know their name. I don't know anything that makes me put a person to the email. I contacted this person and asked them those questions, and they gave me all of that information. But as a level of professionalism, you should never have to be asked for those things. You should have given those in the first point of contact you make with someone. Your name, what you do, which company you work for, if it's relevant, why you've contacted them. If you have a lot of information to portray or discuss, use bullet points. Now, I know at school we are taught that essays are the most formal way of writing, and writing an essay shows your intelligence. But actually, in emails, writing a huge body of text, it can sometimes come across unprofessional, or if not unprofessional, it's very difficult for the other person to figure out what it is they're supposed to respond to. You can go into as much detail as you want within the bullet points, but structure it like bullet points. So last week's report, this week's report, next month's report, and maybe you have 10 sentences in each bullet point. But then they have a good and clear idea of what they're reading. You could even give topic headers. This is an example of a really good email I received recently. I've cut it in half because I don't want you to read what I'm working on, but you can see the headers here. They've underlined them, they've made it very clear, and it means it's so easy for me to read, respond to, and if either of us has any questions, we can quickly find where we talked about it in the email. It's easier for us both to keep track of, and I can respond using exactly the same headers that this person has sent to me. This was a very good email. Number 5, follow your recipient's lead. So when responding to an email, make sure you respond using the same kind of tone, the same kind of wording as the person that sent you the email. Do they write in short sentences? Do they write in longer, more advanced sentences? How do they greet you? What is their sign off? For example, if they say, "Dear Miss Catherine," and I respond, "Hi, John," it's not the same level of formality, so it comes across unprofessional or rude. However, on the other hand, if I send a very casual email to you and you send a very formal email back, it's the same level of unprofessionalism. It's almost as though you haven't read my email. You can be informal but professional. For example, if I say, "Let's meet on Zoom," and the Zoom link, there is nothing unprofessional about that, but it's casual, it's not formal. I think I need to give an example to help you understand. So I received this email recently and it is beautifully written. It is so well worded. The tone is incredibly formal and it really captured me. I wanted to respond to this email. However, I responded in a more casual way because I already had the information and had already decided I liked this person. So I was still professional, but I was more casual. The response I got back to my email was very long sentences with advanced vocabulary, a lot of detail where detail wasn't necessarily needed. And again, it was beautifully written, but it was so opposite of what I had sent to the reader that it almost made me feel like AI had written it or software was involved when writing it. I'm not saying this is wrong, it just felt a bit strange. You know, your first email should be very professional, very formal. But once you receive a response, you can follow their response. So, as my response was more casual, this person didn't need to keep selling themselves, didn't need to keep using advanced vocabulary. They could have followed my lead. So, I keep saying informal but professional. What exactly does that mean? Well, for example, if someone sends me an email saying, "Hi, Catherine, the content looks good. Could you let me know when you have time to discuss deadlines? John." And I respond, "Thank you for your feedback. I appreciate your honesty and I'm looking forward to moving forward together on this project. I have a tight schedule this week, but if I move some things around, I may have time available at 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Please let me know at your earliest convenience if this suits you, and I will arrange the meeting. I would like to take a moment to thank you again for your time and helping me through this stage of the process. I look forward to discussing further on Wednesday. Kind regards, Catherine." Now, this person's email to me is informal but professional, and my response back is just a little over the top and unnecessary. It almost comes across as unprofessional because I'm taking such a long time to respond, it's almost like a waste of time. So if I was to follow their lead, I would respond with something along the lines of, "Hi, John, thanks for confirming the content is okay. I have time on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Does that suit? Thanks, Catherine." It's still very professional, but it's not as formal. Imagine you write someone an email and it's taken you a really long time, you put lots of effort in, and they respond, "Okay, thanks." You feel like they haven't bothered to read your email. It's like I spend so much time writing that, and your response is just, "Okay, thanks." Well, it's the same feeling if you write someone a kind of casual email and they respond with incredibly advanced vocabulary and long sentences. It doesn't feel quite right. It doesn't match up. So follow your recipient's lead. There is actually an email in my inbox at the moment, and I know this person, and I'm putting off reading the email because I know it's going to be long and complicated, and I know it's going to take me an hour to read and respond to. So if you want good communication and quick communication with clients or customers or managers, make sure your emails are professional, but follow their lead. They don't need to be overly formal. The final one today, sign off politely. There are so many email sign-offs you can use. I've included some on the screen, but of course you can find them online or ask AI to give you a list of email sign-offs. If the person you're contacting uses their full name, feel free to use your full name. If they just use a nickname, you can just use a nickname. If they use their name and their job position, maybe you should do the same. So that's it for today. I am now going to sign off. Just remember, when you're writing an email, can I make this easier for the reader? Would I like to receive this email? Am I giving too much information or using vocabulary that is not necessary? Thank you again for watching and supporting me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.